Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. Our show is a production of our nonprofit organization, the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation, or THCF, and our affiliated political committee, the Campaign for the Restoration and Regulation of Hemp, or CRRH. We have an exciting show for you tonight. Tim Pate is here to provide some musical accompaniment. Howdy, Tim.
Hey, folks.
And we have some video clips, a new video of a John Trudell song that we put together with clips from our garden. We'll be talking about the grand opening of Portland's new Cannabis Cafe and taking your calls here shortly. So stay tuned for that as we bring on our infamous Dancing Cannabis Leaves.
Feel the force.
Okay, hey Tim, how are you this week?
It's been an interesting week. There is no doubt about that.
Good, good.
It has been. There's been a lot of news coming from Portland, Oregon this week on the national scene. So
Well, that's true. We'll be talking a little bit more about that later on. I know you're just over from the new Cannabis Cafe yourself.
Me and a minion of others, too. There's a whole bunch of folks over there, which is a good
A lot
thing.
of our usual crew and stuff.
That's
over
true.
There, I guess.
That's true.
But you are going to play some music for us, as
I
always.
am. I feel like this song tonight because it's for me. It's just one of those momentous days. Anytime you open a Cannabis Cafe, so let's all be farmers and save the trees. 1 acre of hemp. Save a forest, please. Let's all be farmers. Get filthy rich instead of planting and stuff. The next beginning is a big song. Let's all be farmers. Rough kid must stop. This is the new, the old, the original. All $1 billion crop. Oh, let's all be farmers. And save the seas. Oil without crude. I hear her boys playing. Oh, let's all be farmers. Index on the range. I can grow my own oil, thank you. Without the pain, let's all be farmers. Now that you know, well, who am I to tell you all what you should grow? Let's all be farmers. Let's all be farmers. Let's all be farmers. Let's all be farmers. Oh, and there's a watch. Oh, that last tree fall. Oh, we're climbing with goddamn. Oh, we can't have them all. Let's all be farmers. Let's all be farmers. Let's all be farmers. let's all be farmers. Let's all be farmers.
All right, Mr. Tim Pate.
Thank you.
Hey, if you are watching tonight and you have a question for us about ending adult marijuana prohibition, restoring industrial hemp, or helping medical marijuana patients, you can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. And we have our first caller. Hello, caller. You are on our show.
Hello.
Howdy.
Okay, I was just wondering, I support what you're doing, and I think it's great. How
Thank
could
you.
I get my community to get involved?
Well, you know, there's a lot of different ways to get involved. We are on the verge of launching a petition drive to end adult marijuana prohibition so that marijuana will be legally sold to adults, and anyone can grow their own without a license or a fee. If you want to sell it, you'd have to get a license and sell it through licensed outlets and stores where they'd only sell cannabis. They wouldn't sell alcohol and other things like that. And so,
That's really good. That's really
yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Let me
So-
ask you a question. What's your community? What do you mean by that?
Are you in Portland,
No.
Oregon?
good. Oh, yeah.
How old are you? If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Is he there?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I am 18.
Right on. That's what I thought. You know, there.
Yeah,
One of the things that you sounded young, and no offense, but you did, and that's why I was asking the question because
Don't
at
be
your
embarrassed.
age, yeah,
We
don't
were
be
young
embarrassed,
once,
man.
too.
Yeah, there are a lot of things at your age you can do to be community active.
Yeah.
We have marches that
I just think
happen,
we should
you
be able
know,
to be
out of
free.
Pioneer Square every May.
High school groups are one thing.
that's
I know
right.
there's hemp clubs at various high school groups that you can get involved with. And once you're 18, you know, you can register to vote and get involved in the political process.
That's correct.
That's the top
Yeah.
thing. And get signatures. We'll be hiring petitioners through an outside company that's handling the petition drive and coordinating the volunteer petitioning as well. Mm-hmm. So,
Oh, man, that's great. That's great.
yeah, so that's one way to get involved. There's just
All
a
right,
lot
man.
of different ways.
And you probably know a lot of your own peers in your own age group who are like you, who are interested in seeing these changes come about. So, you know, the best thing you can do is let them know what you're interested in seeing, and maybe you can form your own group, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
man. Thanks, bro.
You bet.
Thanks for your call. If you're out there and you have a question for us tonight, give us a call at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. Now, if you're not watching on November 13th, Friday the 13th, 2009, don't call. You can only call us tonight. And this is show 512.
I know.
As you reminded me.
That's right. We've been at this a while.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you just came from the Cannabis Cafe. We both are sporting our Missy Cannabis Cafe buttons.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
It's the Oregon Normal's new Cannabis Cafe at 700 Northeast Deacom. Of course, that's for patients only.
It is. It's for people who have an Oregon Normal card as well, and they can get that at the door like they could at any of our meetings.
Right.
And
But they
that
have
always
to have a
lasts
medical
year.
marijuana
They have
permit
to have an
to
normal card.
participate in
That's
this,
correct.
this club.
That's
this cafe.
it's a private club, and
Right.
so that therefore we can do this. You
So
know,
it's
that's
at the
one of ways
same
we can do it.
address as the normal meeting. And are they having that meeting tomorrow?
Yes, they are.
So the meeting is going forward as well.
Yes.
And that's
But
right
also
there.
the Cannabis Cafe. Now today it opened at 4:20. They had their grand opening, and all the media, and there was a lot of people there, and Blitz and everything, and that was really nice to get positive media. It's truly nice to see them there and covering the event and talking to patients and realizing this, you know, the severity of the issues that we have to face. And there was a good crowd there, so I was really happy about that. And congratulations to Madeline and everybody who was there today. Just good work. Good work. It really was. Truly good work. And if you haven't been into Rum Spakers in the last week, it's definitely changed. And now the Cannabis Cafe, and there's vaporizers there, and the place looks really nice. It looks very comfortable. It looks inviting. There's good security. You'll feel safe if you're there. The lighting is nice. And obviously, since it's a cafe, there's a good menu as well. So although... and I have to commend Eric and Shelley. because they gave up their liquor license to do this week. They decided that they didn't want to have to deal with the
OLCC.
Exactly.
And this issue. Well, that makes sense to me.
Me
you know
too.
What? We have a caller. Hello, caller. You are on our show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hard to follow that last call. That was a great call about things that are going on with you guys. Talked to you a couple of weeks ago, but the reason I called today was a little bit of like growing controversy that's been in my community, speaking of communities, for several years, and that's for shade leaves versus vegetative growth leaves. When you're flowering, removing shade leaves or sun leaves, in other words.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that one?
You know, I think that I like to leave the leaves on the plant so that the plant can draw those, it continues to photosynthesize, and even once the plant starts turning yellow, it starts pulling nutrients out of the leaf at the very end of the flower cycle. So I like to leave those things on so it continues to photosynthesize and continues to provide a source of nitrogen and other mobile nutrients. There's some nutrients that are immobile, that won't move from one part of the plant, but a lot of nutrients will move from one part of the plant to another. And those mobile nutrients, the leaves, the big sun leaves, are kind of a store of those that the plant can use right as it's flowering.
And well, and let me interject about electric indoor versus outdoor. Would you have the same feelings in that regard?
Yeah, I do. I've done them both, and I've done it. You know, as long as you don't have a problem with mold and mildew, where you want to have more airflow through the plant, I think that as long as those leaves are, you know, producing sugar and photosynthesis for plant growth, they're still performing a function. When they aren't performing a function anymore, the plant will, once they get shaded or aren't receiving direct light anymore, the plant will pull those nutrients out and use them. Now, I like to wait until they just turn brown and are ready to just about fall off. And I find that the plants have more vigorous growth that way.
That will go along with my friend's opinion. However, I have a little bit different one. But
Right on, give it to us.
All right, you know?
Go for it.
So anyway, hey, it's good talking to you again tonight, and talk to you some other time.
Right on.
Okay, well, thanks for that question. That's a good one.
I've done it both ways myself, as you
I
have too.
Yeah.
You know, I
and
think we all
depending
have.
on the situation, like if I have a problem where I think there's going to be mold or mildew or buildup of those kind of things, I will leave those sun leaves off. But when I'm in the last few days before harvest, I'll often strip them down just to make it less bulky and a more productive harvest just at the very end, when there's no time left for the plant to take those nutrients out anymore.
Exactly. Well, I've tasted some of your wares, and I have to agree that they are excellent. So.
Well, thank you. Well, we were very happy that 35 of our patients got their medicinal marijuana, and there was still a significant
That's the most
surplus.
important thing.
Yeah.
It is. That's the bottom line. That's the important thing.
We have a caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hello?
Hello.
Howdy.
Yeah, you've done indoor grows. What would be your optimum temperature range for doing it?
The best temperature range is going to be 75 to 82, right in that area. Once you get above that, it starts to slow down production just a little bit, and it increases the life cycle of spider mites.
Right.
Once you get into a hotter temperature, dehydration occurs more easily. And the quicker that spider mites can dehydrate the juices that they drink out of your plants, the quicker their life cycle will turn over. And so the best temperature is at about 75 to 82.
I go towards the lower end of that 75 myself. I like to keep them boogers cool.
Yeah.
Because they really do get active. As you'll find out, one day you walk in there and there's just this whole bloom at the top of your plant, and you're going, what did I do wrong? It was just yesterday. It looked fine. And that's suddenly they've gotten to the right temperature, and they go into that maturity, and they explode. But I find it that if you keep them cooler, that will keep them down. There's a lot of other things you can do too, but
yeah. We have another caller. They're coming fast and furious. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Bing.
Hello.
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 How are
Yes,
you?
I have a question. If you choose a grower and he uses his excess crop to sell illegally, and he gets busted, then are you in trouble?
No, but
No.
you've lost your grower.
Yeah.
If he gets busted or she,
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you have your supply and you're not involved in selling it, then you're not in trouble. The person who is the one selling it, if they get arrested doing that, then they are not going to be able to remain a medical marijuana caregiver any longer.
And then they won't be able to grow. They could remain, if they were a patient, they could stay a patient, but they wouldn't be allowed to grow if they were convicted.
That's right.
Not being arrested won't lose your license, but being convicted of that will definitely, you'll be standing alone there.
Yeah, if you were convicted after January 1st, 2006, under Oregon's law of a drug crime, then you can no longer be a caregiver for anyone, including yourself. And if you're a patient, you're limited to 1 ounce at a time for 5 years.
That's right.
And if you have a second offense, then you can't be you're limited to that 1 ounce for the rest of your life.
Okay, I just would like to know as well if oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
It's all right.
That's okay.
We do that too.
Yeah, it must be good medicine.
That's right. You're sitting at home smoking right now, aren't you?
I guess I was nervous about coming out of the closet with all this information. I don't know who to trust and who not to trust. And
Sure.
It's strange.
It is. It's a whole new world. I
That's
remember always being paranoid every time I was involved. But, eventually that passes and you realize that our country's entering a new phase and that marijuana is becoming more accepted. And we're working to completely legalize it ourselves here through our cannabis tax intolerance petitions.
Right, I understand that. Do you think the majority of the people that are in NORML and MAMA and that are actually patients are following the laws? Or are they doing this just as a crook to get pot, legal?
We see these patients every day, and they are very ill.
They've got
the
to see
vast
the doctors
majority of
as
the
well.
ones that come to see our doctors aren't blowing their conditions out of proportion at all.
I myself am a patient. I'm really grateful that I have the medicine. I was grateful the day I got my license, and as far as I'm concerned, I understand that question because that question comes up from the news media more than anyone else, and I find it. I find it's an opportunity for us to educate whenever that kind of question comes up, because
it's a real problem when some people, take advantage of the program and drag it down and get involved in massive pot grows and selling large quantities to
it does happen.
It happens. There's no doubt about it. But it's happening anyway, whether it's under the guise of medical marijuana or not.
Statistically, though, we've been able to show that that there's less abuse in this program than there is in any other government-run program in the state.
Yeah, and
period.
That the use of marijuana by those under the age of 21 has decreased in all the medical marijuana states.
There you go.
Where in the states that don't have medical marijuana, it's gone up in comparison.
Well, it feels good to fight for right, and I'm so glad this cause has come up. I've been waiting to fight for it my whole adulthood.
I hear you.
All right, thanks a lot, you guys, for your work. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thanks. Bye. If you have a question or comment for us tonight, you can call us at 503-288-4448. I know a lot of you are out there watching on Ustream across the country and the world, and
very good.
It's hard to get through, but just keep trying.
Yes.
Dial that number, 503-288-4448, and it will get through eventually if you keep trying. Persistence pays. And most of our calls get through here in the Portland area, but we are watched on Ustream, and it's repeated in about a half dozen cities around the country, including Seattle and Denver and Detroit, and more places every day. So there you have it.
Crazy people.
Anyway, as I was talking just a moment ago, we are circulating these petitions. It would end adult marijuana prohibition, restore industrial hemp. Those are moving forward, we're happy to say. And so if you want to find out more about that, you can go to our website at OCTA 2010. That's OCTA 2010.org. And we have a portal to all our websites, and that's at hemp.org. HEMP.org. It's HEMP.org. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hello.
Hello.
I was curious as to how I could go about going through the doctor stuff without actually making it a part of my permanent medical record.
Well, we have doctors who can see you privately, so it's not in your standard medical record, and they keep it completely private. So for patients who have chronic pain, and the majority of patients who have medical permits have a chronic pain condition. Also, if you have cancer, AIDS, glaucoma, a severe muscle spasm condition like multiple sclerosis or asthma or Tourette syndrome, degenerative neurological diseases like Alzheimer's or multiple sclerosis again, and ALS.
Well, the years of my wonderful job make me look like the little man with all the twigs on his back on the Led Zeppelin album. So the arthritis is kind of hitting me a little hard, and it's pretty painful at times. And this is quite a help.
Yes,
I just had my knee X-rayed today, and they told me I had pretty severe knee arthritis in an old injury site in my knee. So I know that is very painful, and chronic pain is the largest condition. As I was saying, we have doctors all over the United States who can help you. We just have a physician referral line. If you're here in the Portland area, you can call us at 503-235-4606.
235-4606?
That's right.
Exactly. There it is, right there on your screen. If you're outside of the Portland area, you can call us toll-free at 1-800-723-0188. It's 1-800-723-0188.
Okay.
And you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's answering machines there. We'll call you back within 24 hours.
All right.
And we have literally hundreds of doctors across the United States that can help you get that medical marijuana permit.
It's really good to see, though, the state going in that direction. I think it's going to solve a lot of issues that they have with, policing things that maybe their time could be better, used, and other things that are more needing of policing.
Well, we've looked at
let's go catch
the financial situation here in Oregon. We are having a budget deficit of about 30% of total state revenue. And we figure that we'll bring in about $120 million a year in revenue through sales to adults through stores that are legal.
Wow.
When we legalize and tax the sales of marijuana. And we'll have a savings of about another $180 million a year. So a total of about $300 million a year in increased revenue for the state, because we won't be arresting marijuana smokers and users and growers. Instead, the 90% of the proceeds of the sales to adults that goes into state coffers will go to fund the general fund. 7% would go into a drug treatment program, so people who have substance abuse problems get help when they need it. 1% would go into a drug education program for kids that's realistic and comprehensive. And then 2% would go into promoting industrial hemp for biodiesel fuel and for fiber, protein, and oil and foods. So it would turn it around. I really think marijuana was prohibited to stop industrial hemp, so we'd take some of the proceeds, 2%, and apply it toward promoting industrial hemp back to its rightful place in our economy. And I think within a few short years after marijuana is legalized, we'll see cars running on hemp. We won't be wearing cotton very much anymore. It'll be mainly hemp. We'll see fiberboard made out of hemp. And we'll see a turnaround, these destructive petrochemical industry practices that have left, clear-cut forests and oil spills as a legacy, and we'll see a return to a more local economy, more agriculturally based, and much less toxic. And I really think that's what we will see when we end adult marijuana prohibition. It's one of the reasons I'm inspired to keep working for that.
Yeah,
preach it, brother.
I like to have
That was well said.
one of those numbers. I wouldn't mind picking up one of those petition forms and seeing if I couldn't get it filled out.
You can call us at our toll-free number. Right now we're in a process where we're waiting for our ballot title. We'll be launching the petition drive sometime in the next couple months, but just call us. It's at a local company we've hired called Democracy Resources. So Democracy Resources is a local company that's leading our petition drive. You can contact them directly. They have a website, democracyresources.org, or you can go through our website at octa2010.org and fill out a little form there. Or you can call us at our office here in Portland. Again, it's the same number as the medical marijuana referral line. It's 503-235-4606. And if you're outside of Portland, 1-800-723-0188.
All right. Well, that sounds really good, and your show is very informational. A lot of stuff I never understood or had a clue about, and it's like, wow.
Thanks, man.
Very informational.
We
Thanks
keep working at it. I've been at it my whole adult life since I was 18, so I picked up a lot of knowledge about it over the years. And
I've been on one side or the other since about 1970. Well,
back then.
Yeah, well.
Back then. I went to the Washington Smoke Inn in Washington, D.C. in 78.
Yeah.
And so and I was about a week after my 18th birthday.
I have to say I smoked for the first time outside my high school, Nathan Hill High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in 72. So
I think the first time I did was at
a long
Led
time ago.
Zeppelin in 1977.
Right.
All right.
Well, at least you
My
picked the right
ears
music.
needed some medication so they didn't explode.
Well, I think I first smoked in 72 as well. It was at a babysitter's house, and the Vietnam veteran's son, who was 26, lit up some herb, and I tried it there in the garage of the babysitter's house.
Well, actually, that was in when I saw Zeppelin. It was in '77 in the Kingdom.
Oh,
that must have been a great
that was a nice show.
Oh, it was incredible. It was before John Bonham died, and I've never seen anything that compared with it, really. All right,
That must have been a good one. Well, thanks for your call.
Yeah,
thanks again, guys. You have a great evening.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
If you're out there and you have a question, or call, or comment, give us a call at 503-288-4448.
It reminds me, we're going to be having a show coming up actually soon. There's a benefit for Jack Herr.
Jack Herr,
on
the Emperor of
December the 4th.
Who fell at our Oregon Hempstock Festival.
That's correct.
Had a massive heart attack and has been coming back lately. I understand
I
he's
talked to
saying
his son
some
this
words.
evening, just before the show.
Oh, and what did he say? Mark Error.
Yes. Yeah. What he said was that Jack has he's had some issues and been back and forth to the hospital there in Eugene a little bit, but he's back in nursing home right now and recovering.
And saying
he's
some
still with
words
us.
and
it's a slow progress. We
It
all
is.
know that. Yeah. It's going to be very little change, but we all hope for it. That's all it's been so far, and each increment has been a miracle. So that's we're hoping for those little miracles to continue. And Mark sends his love to everybody tonight. He said, please tell everyone he loves them, and thank you for all the good things you've done. So anyway, there will be a benefit on December the 4th that will be at
Village Ballroom
Thank
at
you.
700 Northeast Deacon Street.
Yes, there will.
Become the center of our community here lately with the help of Eric and Shelley. And they've helped open up that.
And that will be from 8 o'clock until my band stops playing. Yeah.
We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Yeah, hello. My name is Chris, and I'm from Southeast Portland. I have a few questions about how to start a collective, in other words, a small cannabis cafe, because I understand that you guys are opening one on 700 Northeast Deacon.
There you go.
Let me just say that that's not us. It's Oregon Normal.
It's Oregon Normal and
we're
Rumsmakers
the hemp and even though we have Madeline on from Oregon Normal quite frequently as a guest host, she has Oregon Normal, and she's on the board of directors of National Normal as well. So it's a project that we support.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of cross volunteers between our organization and hers, but it is
including me.
Yeah, including you and me too. For that matter.
And everyone else who wants to participate. I hope.
Exactly. So if you want to do it yourself, basically, it's best to set up a private club and charge a nominal membership fee, and then not allow the sales of marijuana to take place on the site.
Bingo.
You can provide marijuana. You can charge an entrance, but you can't allow people to leave the location with marijuana. But you can provide marijuana while they are at the location.
Absolutely.
So just as the Eagles and the Elks and those guys have liquor bars at their facilities, at the Cannabis Cafe that Oregon Normal set up and in other collective type operations, then you'd want to make it only available to members of the collective or organization.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I can understand that people would want to associate with other people who do have medical cards. And my question isn't really within the people that are going to be associating and hanging out and participating in a free environment where they can trade ideas, knowledge, strains of different medicines.
Sure.
My questions are really related to what type of paperwork, what offices, what type of places would you have to go to get the right paperwork signed, or at least understand the laws to open a collective?
Well, the first place you would start would be to make certain that you have a group of people, and to form an organization, you want to file organizational paperwork. It's often called bylaws and articles of incorporation with the Secretary of State's business unit. Once you've done that, then you have an entity. You can set it up as a for-profit or non-profit, either way. And then once you have a legal entity, and you could set up something just as what they call a DBA, doing business as well. And that means it's all your responsibility at that point. But once you set up this organization, then you can go out and find a landlord who's friendly to that sort of situation and who will allow that. Once you've done that, then hopefully you've started with a group of like-minded individuals who are similarly medical marijuana patients and caregivers, and then the sky's the limit in terms of bringing in more members and opening new locations.
Yeah, I think it's doable if you keep your security.
Right towards you. I want to ask you directly, this is a collective that I want to start, not just a house or a property where people are doing, as they will, because we're Americans. I just want to say people need to come together and, get warehouses or other collectives together to do the right thing, like what your friend is doing with
Absolutely,
Normal.
Right. Well, that's what I try to do in terms of taking care of the patients that I take care of. And through our organization, we're able to help a number of people.
If you come along, let us know. We'll have you on the show, man.
It's not open to the public, but Oregon Normal's now opened this public one. I understand there's another one out at 65th and Foster Boulevard. So those are the first two in the United States, as far as I'm
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the 420 Cafe out there.
Excellent. You guys are answering all my questions. Great. I just want to know, do you guys know anything about the Mama Clinic?
Oh, yeah.
On 28th and Steele?
Yes. What would you like to know?
I just wonder if you guys recommend it, if they're kind of on the same page of what you guys are
I'm
doing.
going to speak for because Paul owns a clinic, and he's in the business. I know those folks there myself.
I've known him for a long time, and I've had some issues. Let me just put it that way.
Right.
I've had some issues with them in the past where we don't work together and we don't like each other.
But I won't go there, okay? Myself, I've known Sandy for many, many years, and Sandy are dear friends.
And I used to know her, and I used to donate money to her until she did something that I'm not going to talk about here.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there.
Well, I don't want to bring up anything dirty thoughts. I just would like to say that all of us can unite, and we will raise up as a state and make this medicinal happen.
That's
as long as we start collectives and follow guys like you.
There are so many good people out there working towards a common goal of making certain patients have the right to have their medicine. And Mama's Clinic is no different than any of the other clinics, just to let you know my opinion, that they're out there working towards this goal like we are. And so, simple as that. They're good people. There's a lot of good people in this state who are doing a lot of things.
I hear the laughter in the background, and I can love everything that you guys are about. I'm glad you guys took my call.
You bet.
Thanks very much. Keep up the good work. You're all good people. I hope to see you out there.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your call. We have a video clip now with someone I consider a good friend and one of my personal heroes. It's John Trudell, who's been at our Hempstock Festival the past few years. He's a Native American hero who's stood up at Alcatraz and Wounded Knee and numerous other places for Native American rights. And Bonnie Raitt and Jackson Brown got him to start putting music together to his poetry. And so
he's been
on this show a few times and a big supporter of our organization. And here's a video that we put together with clips from our THCF medicinal garden. So this is his song, Grass Fire.
Oh, right on.
Enjoy.
Very good.
Between the blues, there are good days and bad days, with everything and nothing to lose, while the setting sun never sits and the night has no limits. The void between freedom and free, dealing with the unnatural reality, a need to see, a need to be. Grass fire, my DNA needs THC.
Grass fire in a world that yearns. That's the way this fire burns. Like a grass fire.
In the unnatural society, been trying to maintain, while the sane appear to be clearly insane, with no way to explain. Outlasting the great lie, a sparking spark does my mind. Grass fire, pulling the sky, breathing in Sativa's design.
Grass fire in a world that yearns. That's the way this fire burns. It's a grass fire.
The void between freedom and free, dealing with the unnatural reality, a need to see, a need to be. Grass fire, my DNA needs THC. Dreaming of long times past, all that those times brought, looking to the heart of tomorrow. Grass fire in a world that yearns, that's the way this fire burns.
So you know. Fighting now. Hey,
That was nice.
that was an abrupt end. I think that was a little premature, but that's okay.
That was
We
nice.
won't hold the
We were enjoying it and talking
folks
about
in
it
the
while it was
control
going on.
room. But yeah, that's the John Trudell and Bad Dog Band singing Grass Fire. I love that line. My DNA needs THC. We have another phone caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hello.
Hello.
How'd you like that video?
I love those pictures, guys.
That's our
See you,
THCF
Paul.
medical garden from this year. We were able to provide a lot of patients with medicine earlier this month.
Yeah, I seen that. My question was about the vote coming up this year and the petitions that's going out. Now, I got in trouble a few years back when I met you guys, and they said I was a felon from growing the weed. Now I've got my card. It's all good, and I want to know whether it's okay for a felon to vote.
Yes, you can register to vote. I am a
registered to
ganja
vote.
felon myself for growing cannabis back in the 80s and possession of a small amount under federal law in the 90s, where I was acquitted of cultivating, or I would have been a really serious thing. But I went through a trial and was found not guilty of cultivation and guilty of simple possession. And so, as a fellow cannabis felon, I can tell you, yes, you can not only register to vote, you can run for office.
You can even get initiative petitions going and
Yeah,
have them
that's right.
signed up.
you have your full political rights
Yes,
back
you
here
do.
in the state of Oregon. Now, there are some states you could go to where, as a felon, you couldn't vote. But Oregon, in the 50s, the Oregon Supreme Court ruled that felons can vote.
Well, that's good news, too.
There you go.
Yeah, I think so.
I probably will be voting for that along with everybody else, I hope. 'Cause
Excellent.
everything you said tonight makes a lot of sense, Paul, about doing the legal thing, getting it all going.
Yeah.
Industrial hemp might just bring the country around, open up
Yes,
a bunch
sir.
of jobs for people like
I
me
really
and
believe it
other
will.
guys.
Instead of
Use some
sending
work.
our energy dollars off to despotic monarchies in the Middle East, we can give that money to our farmers, and our farmers can use it in their local communities.
Exactly.
And instead
Feed
of
hungry people.
cutting down our forests to build buildings and make paper, we can make hemp fiber building materials and hemp fiber paper.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. Everything you all been talking about for years now, and I finally see it coming. I hope I hang in there and get the
yeah,
vote.
I hope I live to see it too. I've got several friends who haven't. I'm sorry about that, but
Yeah,
I
me
know they're
too.
out there supporting us with their spirit out there on our side still.
Well, it'd be good to see it happen, and you guys keep up the good work. I'll let another caller in,
Thanks, man.
and you guys have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks. You too. If you have a question for us tonight, give us a call at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448.
It is a big weekend. Just, if you came in late, the Cannabis Cafe has opened today officially at 4:20. It'll be open tonight till 10 o'clock. That's at 700 Northeast Deacon.
And at that same address tomorrow,
Yes.
there will be the weekly Oregon Normal meeting for
Exactly.
card holders, where they'll be giving away free medicine and free cuttings as supply allows.
Doors open at 10 or 11.
At 11 and close at noon.
at noon.
Then they have their private meeting where they give
Yes.
that away after that.
Now the Cannabis Cafe will be open tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock from 10 to 10, 7 days a week from this point forward until
Right
further notice.
below the Oregon Normal meeting as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be going on there too. Then upcoming on December 13th is the Oregon Medical Cannabis Awards. And you can guarantee that there are 28 really nice strains that the judges out there will be testing for about a month. And then they grade the cannabis on a scale of 1 to 10 on 7 different criteria, everything from appearance and aroma to flavor and medicinal effect and potency. And so then they add up all of those scores together, and whichever strain has the highest score wins the award. And so you can
Have you put
see
anything
that.
in this year?
I have 2 strains entered this
All
year.
right,
I've
very
entered
good.
2 strains.
Well, good
I'm
luck.
not going to say what they are, just for the interests of fairness. I don't want anything to sway what the judges might think. I don't want any kind of, we want a level playing ground here. But so all the strains are in, the judges are in, and it's open to the public for free this year on December 12th here at the Ambridge Convention Center. We have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Yeah, hey, Paul.
Hey.
I hope you're feeling better.
I am limping around a little bit. I hurt my knee earlier this week, but I went and saw a doctor today, and I'm going to live.
That's good to hear.
Thanks.
You were mentioning using hemp for using the marijuana oil for running the vehicles earlier. What was the numbers on how many gallons per acre and the other byproducts? I just wanted to get
Sure,
that
okay.
out
If you take an acre of hemp, according to a study out of Notre Dame University, published in a publication in 1975 called Midland's Naturalist. And in that publication, the article's called Feral Hemp in Southern Illinois. Feral meaning wild hemp in Southern Illinois. According to them, an acre of hemp produces 300 gallons of hemp biodiesel oil. That can be used as a food until it turns rancid, and then it's good as a biodiesel fuel. It'll run any diesel engine with no conversion to the diesel engines out there today. You can just pour it right in. The byproduct of pressing what is 8 tons of seed, and that's the production per acre according to this Notre Dame study, is not 8 tons but 8,000 pounds or 4 tons. So out of 8,000 pounds of seeds per acre, you press that down and you get 300 gallons of oil and 6,000 pounds or 3 tons left over of hemp seed meal that's high in protein and can be used to make tofu, tempeh, or any other high-protein vegetable product. Then the byproduct of...
That was a gruel, right?
Yeah, exactly. The hemp seeds, traditionally, hemp porridge was called gruel. And you can get it today in a lot of different hemp cereals out there. You go into Trader Joe's or Whole Food markets, and you'll find hemp seed milk and hemp seed cheese. And the raw hemp seeds themselves, once they've had the crunchy outer coat taken off, taste like a cross between walnuts and cashews. If you like walnuts or cashews, you'll really like hemp seed, and it's even better for you than any of those others. It has just the perfect balance of essential fatty acids for human nutrition and a higher ratio of digestible protein than any other plant source. Soybeans have slightly more protein, but most of that isn't digestible by humans. So hemp seed protein is completely digestible by humans. Now, in addition to the seed and the seed oil and the seed protein, you also have the fiber crop. And the residual fiber crop is going to be 25 tons of hemp herds, which can be used to make building materials and paper, and 5 to 10 tons of hemp bast fiber. In the stalk of marijuana, the interior woody part of the stalk is called the hurd, or H-U-R-D, and the outer bark of the stalk is called bast fiber, or B-A-S-T. And that bast fiber has traditionally been used to make canvas, rope, lace, and linen, and very high-quality thin paper, such as they use for rolling cigarettes. In fact, here in the United States, the law requires that 50% that all cigarettes be rolled in either flax or hemp paper. And so all cigarettes on the market are rolled. The paper is made out of flax or hemp, and it's about 50% hemp and 50% flax that's in American rolled tobacco.
Live and
so
learn.
There you have it.
Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome. That's made from the stems. Thanks for your call. If you have a question for us tonight, give us a call at 503-288-4448.
So if they smoke cigarettes, they smoke marijuana. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, if you smoke tobacco, you are smoking marijuana fiber. The fibers. 50% of it is flax fiber and 50% of it is hemp fiber. And it's all produced by 3 paper mills on the East Coast, 2 of them in New Jersey, 1 of them in North Carolina.
Right.
And they make the paper from European hemp and flax.
That's where it came from.
Yeah,
Spain,
mainly coming
France.
from Spain,
yeah,
and
exactly.
some from France.
That's where we imported it when we made the hemp boards.
Right.
And so we imported all of ours from Spain. Yeah.
Right. So again, if you're out there, we have about 10 minutes left. You can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448.
So where are you traveling to next?
You know, I'm kind of laid up. I'm going to go, I think, to Montana at the end of the month after Thanksgiving. So I'm going to go over there, and things are rolling on their own in Michigan and Denver. I might pop into Denver before that. Just we've opened a new, fancier office in really high quality, in a really high-end building.
Well, I've heard there's a lot of things going on in Denver right now.
Yeah, things are just opening up there in a large way. There's a lot of different dispensaries. I think they said there's 150 dispensaries that have opened just this year in Colorado. And the program has exploded from about 5 to 15,000 people, I think, something like that.
As it should be.
Just this year.
Yeah.
And so it's been growing very, very rapidly.
It'll continue.
Still hasn't caught up with Oregon yet.
Well, there's probably a lot of sick people there. You know,
when we first moved into Colorado in May of 2006, there were only 700 patients statewide.
Yeah, I remember.
And then at the beginning of this year, there were about 8,500 patients, and about 5,000 of those were our patients. So there are a number of other doctors that have jumped in. Some of them aren't meeting acceptable medical standards. Some of them have already been suspended and losing their license.
They'll figure that out.
You've
got to stay on the money on this thing.
And so by following medical standards of practice, we're able to protect our physicians.
Exactly. And unfortunately, some of the early doctors involved in Oregon's, face that same fate. And unfortunately, a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're so organized that we pull in a lot of people.
Yeah.
But the truth is, as you said, they've got to keep all their P's and Q's straight.
Yep. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello, caller.
Are you there? All right. They're not there.
I guess not.
Yep, we lost one.
Oh,
maybe.
Hello?
Hello.
There you are.
Okay, it turned on mute.
Yep, it's you.
Okay.
How can we help you this evening?
Hi.
Howdy.
Well, I've watched your show for a long time, and I've always been kind of afraid to
call in.
To hear me echo. Anyways.
Hey, don't listen to that television. Turn that thing down. Talk to us.
Okay. Okay, I turned it off.
Good.
I've watched your show a long time, and I've been kind of afraid to call until they did that memorandum federal government thing, you know?
Yeah. Now the federal government says they aren't going to respect medical marijuana laws? Or they're not going
Yeah. Well, I have two different doctors.
They are going to respect them.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have two different doctors that have said no to getting me into like a program of help for marijuana for pain. And I'm a person that they've tried a whole bunch of different kinds of things on, and every single one of them I'll have heart palpitations, massive rashes, or I get hives in my nose and mouth and throat swollen.
Bummer.
Pretty much that. So what I'm saying is I don't have the choice of some of those other things. I would like to have this and try it, and I've known a couple other people have had some parts of it. But,
no, we have doctors who are willing and ready and able to help you. And all you have to do is call our office, and we'll tell you what you need to do and get your medical records into those doctors. And you go in and do a brief physical exam.
I can just ask for my medical records to be sent over?
Yeah, or you can go to these doctors, and they have forms that you just fill out, and they will go get your records. If you go to these clinics, then you fill out a medical release form, then the clinic will get your records, or you can go to your doctor and tell them fax your records to this other doctor. So either one of those, if you call our number, if you have any of those conditions, and yours being several chronic pain conditions, then our doctors can help you. What was that?
I have 6 conditions off your thing, plus diabetes and other things. And so I really have a hard time sleeping and different things. Do you find that there's ever a drug interaction with marijuana?
You know, the only interaction they've shown with almost all of them is like with painkillers, you get increased pain relief. There are no lethal reactions, and there's nothing what they call an LD50, or a lethal dose for 50% of the people who use cannabis. There aren't any negative reactions or interactions with any other drug, so it's a very unique drug. So if you need help finding a doctor, you can call us here in the Portland area. You can call our local number at 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. If you're outside of the Portland area, you can call us at 1-800-723-0188. That's 1-800-723-0188. And we have doctors who are willing and ready and able to help you right away.
Now, I can't read my own writing here. They don't ever tell, or we don't have to tell, like Medicaid and
No, it's completely private. What you do with these doctors is completely private. It's up to you to decide who you want to have that information. And these doctors will respect and protect your privacy, and will never give your information out without talking to you and getting a written release, both verbal and written release.
Now, you're under the HIPAA laws just like any other clinic, medical clinic, period.
Okay. Can you have pills or marijuana? Which one? Do you have a choice?
You know, you can make pills out of cannabis or marijuana, and we give our patients recipes on how to take the leaves and the flowers of marijuana and turn it into capsules if that's what they prefer. You can also vaporize cannabis. You can put it into an alcohol-based extract. You can make a glycerin-based extract. You can make a butter and oil-based extract. And we give all of our patients those recipes when they come through our clinic. We also have an online forum where patients help each other if they have access to the Internet. And so you can make the decision which method of ingestion is best for you. For people who like to inhale, we recommend vaporizers instead of smoking. But, you know, recent studies have shown people who smoke marijuana are less likely to get any form of lung cancer than people who never smoked anything at all. So marijuana has a protective effect against cancer and a number of other diseases.
Now, if you were smoking the marijuana, And if you're in your house and you have your card, they cannot bother you.
That's right. As long as you are within your
porch?
limits, you don't give up your right to be free from unreasonable search and seizure just because you have a medical marijuana permit. So they can't bother you, and they won't bother you, especially here in the Portland area. They aren't going to bother you at all. Anywhere in the state of Oregon, you're very well protected.
So you mean what you're saying is you can go on your back porch, or you can go to your friend's house, or your other relative's house and do it?
Well, you know, what we recommend is you do it privately. So you don't want to do it in a public place. I tell people to treat it like sex. If you're in a place where you can't be seen, then it's okay. For instance, if you're in your home and the curtains are drawn, you're all right. If you're standing in front of your window as the kids are going by getting out of school and smoking in front of them, then that's not appropriate. If you're in your campground and you're inside your tent, it's okay. If you're walking around, well, that's not okay. So you've got to take the time under Oregon's law and most other states to keep it private.
Can you take this, like a lot of my relatives live in Utah, can I take it to Utah and use it?
No, it's not legal in Utah. It's only legal in 13 states, and most of those states don't allow out-of-state people to take advantage of their law. There are 3 states that have what we call reciprocity, or recognize other states' medical permits, and that is Montana, Michigan, and Rhode Island. Those are the 3 states where if you have a permit from another state, you're covered in Montana, Michigan, and Rhode Island. But you know what? We are down to less than a minute and a half to go.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to...
Thank you.
Well, thanks for your call, and you had a lot of very good questions there. I'm sure a lot of people learned quite a bit from that. And if you're out there and you need help getting a medical marijuana permit, looking for a doctor, just call that toll-free number right there on your screen, 1-800-723-0188. Or if you want to get involved in the movement to end adult marijuana prohibition, call us as well. That's the end of our show for this week. Mr. Tim Pate will take us out on some music and some more garden scenes. And tune in next week and help us restore hemp. Good night.